Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh here at J-Tech again. What we're going to go over today is the components of a brake drum system. Also going to show you how to use the Pro-Cut machine to turn rotors on the vehicle, and going to show you how to turn brake drums on the floor lathe over here. Before we get started with the actual hands-on work, I want to go over a couple the parts of the brake drum system with you, and we'll go from there. So if you look right here, this is going to be your basic brake drum assembly. This right here is going to be your wheel cylinder. That's what activates when you press in the pedal. Fluid goes in through the brake line in the back, and those push out and it expands the shoes. These are the shoes. Those are just like your brake pads. This right here are the these springs here are the shoe retainer springs. You have an adjusting lever here, adjusting rod. You have your strut here, which basically keeps the minimum distance on the shoes. You have return springs down here. Those when you let go of the brake pedal, that allows it to return back to the coasting position, or the non-depressed position. And then in the back there's a parking brake lever. Can't really see it on this one. Back right here on this one over here, parking brake lever right there. So that's the basic layout of the drum brake system. So already got a drum off the vehicle. We're going to go over to the lathe. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and measure this brake drum caliper. So we're going to measure to make sure that it's within spec to be able to get turned, and then after we turn it, we're going to measure it again to make sure we're still within the spec, and that we're not putting someone on the road with a drum that is too thin. So in here, you can check a couple different spots. You're basically just spreading that out there so it goes to each wall, and it's going to give you a measurement here, and that is like 205-ish millimeters. Take your little guy right here. These teeth right here are also on the other side of this. Sorry, I'm getting the right one. There we go. And you're just going to tighten this down so that it clamps onto the back side of the drum. There you go. So like that. Those are the teeth that I just clamped down on in there. You're going to pick the right plate over here. That's going to fit in here. We'll try this one first. That one's a little big. So we're going to try this one here. That one's not quite big enough, but it's the other one was just too big. Throw all this on here, like that. And then you're going to take some extra spacers and put them on. Get that tight in there. This arm here is what moves in and out, and what you're going to want to do is score the surface with this here. So you want to get it so it's not going to touch when you turn it on. Turn the machine on. This arm here brings the rotor in and out. So you're going to put it about halfway in, and then you're going to move this until you hear it start to scrape. 0 right here. You're going to line those up using just this. That will move freely without the arm itself. And then lock it down. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to back this out a little bit. Put the arm all the way in. Turn your light on here, help you see. Okay, and then you're gonna take it and go back to your 0. And then you're gonna want to turn it. So there's my 0. We're gonna go 0.01, so 1/100th of an inch. Now once you got that there, take your lever here, with that, you're gonna watch. This is gonna slowly start moving. As that's going around, it's slowly pulling that across the drum, which is going to chew off that 1/100th of an inch in there, and go from there. This drum resurfaced, still in specs. We remeasured it again at 200 millimeters after taking some off, and like I said, that's well above the minimum. So what you do is take the drum, and it just sits right in there like that. And then you're going to take the tire, throw the tire back on, and repeat as necessary. But that's how you cut a drum. Now we'll go and show you how to cut a rotor while it's on the vehicle. Alright guys, so now we're going to use the Pro-Cut machine. It allows you to turn rotors while they're still on the vehicle. So the first thing you want to do is get it attached to the vehicle. You want to make sure your vehicle is in neutral, and then you're going to find the right adapter plate, which we already put on here, and it just bolts up just like the wheel would. And I'll just go over a quick overview of how the machine works, and I'll set it up. It's just like the other lathe. These teeth come in and they pinch down on the sides, and it moves itself out from the rotor. So what you do is you take this little adapter here, hook it up to the adapter on the wheel. This kind of just screws in there. Once you have that screwed in tight, once you have it screwed in tight, then you're going to take this, and this little knob here brings the teeth out, or the grinding surfaces out. And then this knob here tightens this plate. So you want to loosen that, and you want to center these. Center this piece on the rotor itself, and then you're going to take your little arms here and bring them out. This right here is what locks your arms in place. So make sure that's loosened up before you start trying to do these. Once you have these out, you're going to do just like we did on the other machine. You're going to take it all the way in, about halfway. You're going to find your starting point using these two. Once they're both touching, you're going to pull this knob up, zero it, and then you're going to go from there, lock all this back down, and then you'll hit this here and turn it. As soon as we get this all hooked up, once we turn it on right here, it's the start button. That's what gets the rotor spinning. The rotor will be spinning when this is actually hooked up. You're going to come down here and you're going to press start, and what it's going to do, it's going to calibrate it. Once it's calibrated and it says good, ready to use, then you can actually press that in and it'll start turning the rotor. So I'm going to set all that up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's going. So I just showed you guys how to cut a drum brake using the brake lathe. You can also use the brake lathe over there on the floor for rotors as well. But like I just showed you with the Pro-Cut machine, if you have the equipment available and you either one don't have a brake lathe that's available off car, or you find this is going to be more value to you if you have the time to come and hook one of these up. Once you get used to it, they're not that hard to hook up, but you can actually do this without taking the brake pads or the calipers off. So if you get good at it, it can really help you save some time. So that's how we use again a Pro-Cut machine to cut rotors on the car, and a brake lathe machine to cut both rotors and drums off the car. Thanks for watching.